The majority whip? No, I don't think that I've heard of that. The majority whip?
Oh boy, oh boy. The majority what?
I have no clue what a majority whip is.
The one that pushes the bills through.
What is it again?
How am I doing?
So who is the majority whip? Senator Dick Durbin holds that title, Majority Whip of the United States Senate. You often hear him described as one of the most powerful men in America. But what does that really mean? Knowing who he is doesn't necessarily clear things up, so we've got a civics lesson for you. First question, what exactly is a majority whip? The post is the #2 in command of the Senate. Their job is to whip up support for party positions and build voting coalitions. Question 2, how does one become majority whip? The majority whip is elected by a vote of all the senators from their party. Now, let's see how the majority whip gets it all done with a rare look into the day of the Democrats' #2 in command.
I was born in East St. Louis, Illinois. Never dreamed I'd ever be anywhere close to this capital in my life.
I got a dream. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out.
Welcome to Washington.
Even breakfast is work for Senator Dick Durbin. It's Thursday morning, and Durbin and his fellow Illinois Senator Barack Obama are holding their weekly open forum in Washington.
How can a U.S. citizen?
It's a chance for Illinois residents to talk face-to-face with their senators.
One of Dick's greatest qualities is modesty, for all the power that he's now has here in the Senate.
After posing for a few dozen photos with constituents, Durbin is off to his first meeting. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Our first hearing will be in short order on the genocide issue in Darfur.
He is able to speak cogently, directly, and I think effectively on virtually any issue that comes before the Senate. And that has enabled him to become #2 in the leadership hierarchy.
Office of the Assistant Majority Leader.
This is where Durbin spends a good deal of his working day, the official office of the Majority Whip, located right inside the Capitol. But what exactly does Senator Durbin do as Majority Whip?
If you watch the Senate floor and watch the business on the floor, you wonder, well, who's following that? I'm following it. Every bill, every amendment, every vote, and that's my job. I literally sit down with these senators, many of them new to the United States Senate, and explain to them, this is this amendment, here's what it does, here's how we would like you to vote, and here's what I think the political consequences are.
In between Senate votes, Durbin's day is packed with meetings. Then there's the weekly session between top Senate leaders and Capitol Hill journalists. It's led by Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, the only senator with more power than Durbin.
This is a Congress that is asking the hard questions, calling in the witnesses.
Normally closed to TV cameras, Durbin's office allows us special access.
We're off to a good start.
Another example of Senator Durbin's influence, his access to President Bush.
I respect this man as president, and I want to be able to talk to him as a human being. Everything's good.
Our day with Durbin just happens to be the same day he hosts an annual luncheon for Illinois mayors.
Our issues in West Central Illinois are no different than those that are in Chicago.
He's one of the few U.S. senators, I think he's the only one, that has meetings not only here in Washington, D.C., but also back in Illinois.
Durbin knows his achievements will be based on his ability to bridge differences and produce results.
I hope at the end of the debate and the vote that my adversary today will be my friend off the floor and maybe my ally tomorrow.
Straight talk from the political playbook of Dick Durbin, Illinois senior senator and majority whip in the United States Senate.
My dream is to be free.
Senator Durbin is only the second Illinoisan in history to serve as majority whip. His position is important to our state because it guarantees Illinois will always be at the table for discussions on any major legislation. For more information on Senator Durbin, you can go to our webpage, WGNTV.com. And we got to thank Joe Shoemaker, who is communications director for Senator Durbin. But just to give you an idea of how the senator works, this whole showdown with the president over funding for the war in Iraq, Senator Durbin's one of the big forces behind that.
He's just one of the point men, right?